There is one painful truth many cat owners do not understand until they are already living through it. In a cat's final days, some things that look loving can feel very hard for the cat. You try to make your cat eat. You try one more pill, one more treatment, one more hopeful idea. You tell yourself that love means doing more, trying harder, and holding on longer. But a dying cat does not always need a bigger fight. Sometimes your cat needs less noise, less pressure, less fear, and one quiet place where the body can finally rest. That is why this is so heartbreaking. The line between helping and hurting can become very thin at the end. If your cat turns away from food, hides in dark places, or seems too tired to answer you, your heart says, do something now. And sometimes that helps. But sometimes it makes a tired body work harder when all it really wants is comfort. If you have ever looked at your cat and wondered, am I helping, or am I making this harder? Comment, I'm scared, because you are not the only one who has felt that. You need more than hope. You need honesty. You need to know which signs mean your cat may be close to the end, which comforts truly help, and which desperate actions can add fear to a body that is letting go. What matters now is not doing everything. It is understanding what your cat is truly asking for when strength is fading, time is short, and love has to become gentler than ever. 1. Signs your cat may be entering the final stage of life. One of the hardest parts of loving a cat near the end is this. The body usually does not shut down with one big warning. Many owners think they will somehow just know. They imagine one clear moment. But most of the time, the truth comes in small changes that build slowly. And because they happen little by little, it is easy to explain them away. You may notice your cat losing weight, even if you still put food down every day. The hips may look sharper. The spine may feel easier to touch. The face may look smaller. This is not always just old age. In many cases, it means the body is no longer using food well and muscle is fading away. That is why a cat can look weak before many people are ready to admit how serious things have become. You may also notice that your cat feels colder. The paws, ears, or body may not feel as warm as before. This can happen when the body is losing strength and can no longer control its temperature well. Some cats also breathe differently near the end. The breathing may become faster, slower, more shallow, or more difficult. A cat may even breathe with its mouth open, which is a very serious sign. The heart and lungs may be struggling, and the body may be working much harder than it looks. Another painful change is losing control of the bladder or bowels. Many owners feel shocked when this happens. But this is not bad behavior. Your cat is not being lazy. It can be a sign that the body is becoming too weak to manage basic needs. Sometimes the smell of the body changes too. A cat may start to smell different, stronger, or sour because the organs are no longer working the way they should. It can feel upsetting, but it is part of a body slowing down. Behavior often changes too. Many cats lose interest in food and water. This is one of the scariest signs for owners, because feeding feels so connected to love. But near the end of life, the stomach and other organs may not work the same way, so hunger and thirst begin to fade. Your cat may also hide in quiet, dark places. Some people think this means the cat feels angry, distant, or abandoned. But very sick cats often do this by instinct. They are not rejecting you. They are trying to feel safe while their body feels weak. You may also notice that grooming stops. The fur becomes messy, greasy, or clumped together. The cat may lose interest in toys, windows, daily routines, or even your voice. It may sleep more, move less, and seem far away. That does not mean your cat has stopped loving you. It often means the body is using almost all its energy just to get through the day. One sign by itself does not always mean the end is here. But when many of these changes happen together, it is time to stop asking, how do I make my cat act normal again? And start asking a softer, braver question. How do I make this easier for my cat now? 2. How to comfort and care for your cat in the final days. When a cat is dying, comfort often matters more than effort. This is where many loving owners get confused. You see weakness and your first instinct is to do more. More cleaning, more feeding, more touching, more checking. But a cat in the final stage of life is not asking for a busier world. Most of the time, your cat is asking for a softer one. The first gift you can give is a peaceful space. Make a resting area that is warm, quiet, and easy to reach. A soft bed, a folded blanket, or a gentle heating pad on a safe setting can help if your cat feels cold. Keep the area away from loud music, television noise, running children, and other pets that may stress your cat. Try to lower bright lights too. A dying cat's body is already working hard. The less it has to fight the room around it, the more energy it can use to rest. The second kind of comfort is helping with simple daily needs without turning them into a struggle. If your cat still wants to use the litter box, move it closer and make it easier to enter. A litter box with lower sides can help a weak cat who cannot step up the way it used to. If your cat has accidents, never scold. This is not laziness. This is not bad behavior. This is a tired body losing control. Your cat does not need shame. Your cat needs gentleness. Cleaning also becomes important, but it should be done very softly. Use a soft, damp cloth to wipe the eyes, face, ears, or any dirty part of the body. If urine or stool gets into the fur, clean the area slowly and kindly. Do not scrub. Do not force your cat into long baths unless a veterinarian says it is truly needed. At this stage, being clean can help your cat feel more comfortable, but the cleaning itself should never become another source of fear. Food is one of the hardest parts emotionally. If your cat still shows interest, offer small amounts of soft, easy-to-eat food. Strong-smelling favorites may help, like a little tuna water or another safe food your veterinarian has approved. Some owners even offer a favorite treat just to bring back one small moment of pleasure. But one rule matters more than all the others. Invite, do not force. A weak cat may want a few licks, one bite, or nothing at all. That is painful to watch, but forcing food into a cat that is resisting can create panic and stress. At the end of life, comfort matters more than winning one more meal. Touch should follow the same rule. If your cat leans into your hand, stays close, or relaxes when you stroke the head, then gentle petting and a soft voice can be deeply comforting. But if your cat pulls away, hides, stiffens, or seems bothered by being touched, respect that. Love is not always holding your cat close. Sometimes love is sitting nearby, speaking softly, and letting your cat feel your presence without pressure. A calm presence can feel better than constant touch. Medical comfort matters too. Pain relief, anti-nausea medicine, and other hospice support from a veterinarian can make a big difference. This is not giving up. It is choosing to reduce suffering instead of chasing control. The goal now is not always to make life longer. It is to make the time that remains feel safer, quieter, and less painful. If you have ever thought loving your cat means doing more and more, comment same, because many people only realize later that in the final days, the kindest care is often the gentlest care. 3. Are the things you do cruel? This is the part that hurts the most, because it reaches the question many loving cat owners are almost afraid to say out loud. What if the things I am doing out of love are making my cat's last days harder? That fear is real, and it does not mean you are heartless. Usually, it means the opposite. It means you care so much that every choice feels heavy, and every small change feels like a test you might fail. One of the deepest sources of guilt appears when a dying cat stops eating. To many people, food feels like love, safety, and survival. So when your cat turns away from the bowl, takes one lick and stops, or refuses even favorite foods, panic rises fast. You may think, if I let this happen, I am starving my cat. But near the end of life, the body often begins shutting down in ways that change hunger and thirst. The stomach and intestines may not work the same way. Nausea may rise. Swallowing may feel harder. Even the effort of eating can become exhausting. That does not mean food stops mattering in every case. It means the body may no longer experience food the way a healthier body would. This is why not eating at the end of life is not always the same as the painful hunger people imagine. Many owners torture themselves because they picture their cat lying there hungry and abandoned. But often, what the cat feels most is weakness, discomfort, or deep tiredness, not normal hunger in the human sense. This is where love can accidentally turn into pressure. You see a few hours pass with no food. Then more time. Your heart cannot stand it. So you try another bowl, another flavor, then a syringe, then medicine, then another attempt. Sometimes these things do help, especially earlier in illness, or when a veterinarian believes there is still a real chance of meaningful comfort and recovery. But when a cat is actively dying and clearly resisting, forcing food or medicine can turn the final days into a cycle of fear. Think about what that feels like from the cat's side. Your body is weak. You already feel sick. You want quiet. You want stillness. Then hands keep opening your mouth. A syringe keeps coming toward your face. Pills keep being pushed in. You cannot understand that it is happening because someone loves you. All you know in that moment is stress, panic, and loss of control. That is why emotional comfort matters just as much as physical care. People often focus only on keeping the cat alive longer. But the cat is living in the present moment. It is not making future plans. It is feeling this breath, this pain, this fear, this touch. So the question changes. It is no longer only, can I make my cat live longer? It becomes, what does this extra day actually feel like to my cat? And then comes the hardest choice. Waiting for a natural death or choosing euthanasia. Many people hold onto the idea of natural because it sounds gentler. But natural death is not always peaceful. Sometimes a cat grows quieter, sleeps more, and slips away gently. But sometimes it is slow. Sometimes there is hard breathing, confusion, distress, shaking, or even seizures. Sometimes the body keeps going long after comfort has already gone. This is why euthanasia, when recommended by a veterinarian and chosen at the right time, is not a betrayal. It is not hatred. It is not throwing your cat away because caring became too hard. In many cases, it is the choice to stop pain before pain becomes unbearable. It is the choice to put comfort above your own wish for one more day. So, are the things you do cruel? Sometimes, yes, they can become cruel if they keep a tired, failing body trapped in fear, pain, or endless struggle only because you are not ready to let go. But that cruelty usually does not come from a lack of love. It comes from love mixed with fear, guilt, and hope. And that is why this moment asks something very painful from you. Not just love, but honest love. Love that does not only ask, how do I keep my cat here? Love that also dares to ask, is my cat still comfortable here? Because in the end, true kindness is not always doing more. Sometimes it is knowing when more has started to hurt. 4. How to judge your cat's quality of life. When love is strong, it can be very hard to tell the difference between still living and still suffering. That is why many veterinarians use a simple quality of life guide called HHHHHMM. It is not a cold checklist. It is a way to help you see clearly when your heart is overwhelmed. The first question is hurt. Is your cat in pain? Is breathing hard? Does the body look tense, restless, or uncomfortable? Then comes hunger. Can your cat still eat enough to feel some strength? Or has eating become a struggle every time? Next is hydration. Is your cat getting enough fluids to stay comfortable? Or is dehydration making the body weaker and more exhausted? Then hygiene. Can your cat stay reasonably clean? Or is the fur becoming dirty, sticky, or painful against the skin? Then happiness. This part matters deeply. Does your cat still have small moments of peace, interest, comfort, or connection with you? Even a little head lift, a soft look, or resting calmly beside you can matter. Then mobility. Can your cat still move enough to rest comfortably, reach the litter box, or change position without too much struggle? And finally, more bad days than good days. This may be the hardest one. When you look honestly at the past week, were there still real good moments? Or has suffering started to fill most of the day? This guide does not make the choice easy, but it can make the truth harder to avoid. If pain is rising, comfort is fading, and bad days are outnumbering good ones, it may be time to stop asking how to hold on longer. It may be time to ask how to let go more gently. If this is the part that breaks your heart the most, comment 6. 5. Saying goodbye and living with the grief. One of the kindest things you can do in your cat's final moments is also one of the hardest. Stay present. If euthanasia becomes the most humane choice, try to be there if you can. Your voice, your smell, and your gentle touch may be the last familiar things your cat feels. That matters. Your cat does not need a perfect speech. Your cat only needs to feel that it is not alone. Some cats will rest more deeply when they hear the voice they trust. Some may lean weakly into a hand, soften their body, or breathe more calmly when their person stays near. And sometimes there is one last small moment that stays with you forever. A quiet look, a tiny head press, a faint purr. Not every cat will do this, but your presence can still be a comfort. After that, another kind of pain begins. Many people start putting themselves on trial. They ask, did I wait too long? Did I choose too soon? Did I miss something? Did my cat know I loved them? These thoughts are common, especially when you have been carrying grief even before the loss happens. But love should not become a courtroom inside your mind. Your cat did not measure your love by one final decision alone. Your cat felt your love in the life you gave every day before that. In the food you set down. In the warm places you made. In the times you stayed up worried. In the routines, the safety, and the small kindnesses that became your cat's whole world. You can keep that bond in simple ways. A paw print, a little fur, a favorite photo, or a quiet memorial at home. You could not stop time, but you may have made your cat's leaving less frightening. And sometimes, that is the bravest form of love.